Is screen visible to you? Okay. So in last lecture, we were talking about the heat engine. So let's have a look over it and then we'll continue further. So heat engine is a machine which converts heat energy into mechanical energy. And anyone has any problem? Okay, let's continue. Okay. So I told you that heat engine converts the Ankita Chani. Okay. Ankita, can you hear me? Okay. So let's continue. I was talking about the heat
Was
engine.
talking about the
Is my voice clear to you? Someone contact Ankita and tell
हाँ
her
ये
to
थम
mute
की
her.
जरा
Okay. So heat engine converts the heat energy into mechanical energy, and it is classified as external combustion and internally combustion. So what does external combustion? In external combustion, fuel takes place outside the engine and the steam is thus formed and the engine is run. An internal combustion engine, the fuel is internally in the internal combustion engine takes place. The combustion of fuel takes place inside the engine of the cylinder. It is known as internally combustion engine. So this we have already seen. Let's see the types of heat engine. Heat engines are external combustion, internal combustion. External combustion is further classified as steam engine, and internal is classified as reciprocating vehicle and rotary gas turbine. And reciprocating is further classified as CI engine and SI engine. And now we are going to see CI engine and SI engine, which is two stroke, four stroke, and same way SI engine is two stroke, four stroke. Before that, let me tell you about the SI engine. What is SI engine? It is spark ignition in IC engine, and in this engine, liquid fuel is atomized and vaporized, and then it is mixed with the air in correct proportion before being taken to the engine cylinder through the intake manifold, and the ignition of mixture is caused by an electric spark, and this is the spark ignition. So here the spark is done and fuel is burned by the spark, and in same way uh, in CI engine we get the heat of compressed air is used to burn the fuel. So now let us see the constructional features of IC engine. This we have already seen, but let's continue again. We will see one by one in short the parts of an IC engine. So first you can see here cylinder. Now what is cylinder? The cylinder of an IC engine, it is a basic and supporting portion of an engine power, and then it measures the function to provide the space in which the piston can operate and draw the fuel. This cylinder is usually of high grade steel, high grade cast iron, and in some cases it has greater strength and wear resistance. Next, after this, you can see in the cylinder we have the piston. piston is an engine, is the first part of being movement. Piston is at movement, is from movement, and it can transmit the power to the crankshaft. As a result, the pressure and energy gets generated by the combustion of fuel. So the piston is closed at one end and other end the piston is open. Next, after piston, we can see here the piston rings. These are made up of cast iron, and they have the ability to retain bearing qualities and elasticity, and they are primarily the function of piston ring is to retain the compression, and thus the same time reduces the cylinder wall, and then the piston wall contacts the minimum area, so this reduces the friction losses. After this, we can see here the piston pin is there. It is the connecting rod is connected to piston through piston ring pin, and it is made up of hardened alloy steel. After piston rod, we can see this connecting rod here. So this is the connection between the piston and crankshaft, and the end of the connection, the piston is known as small end and the other end is known as big end. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am audible. You're getting what I said. I'm talking about the cylinder, piston, crankshaft. These are the parts of an IC engine. So we were at the crankshaft, and crankshaft is connected to the piston through connecting rod, and it converts the linear motion of piston into rotary motion. So the motion of a flywheel. Then we have the engine bearings. Here we have the other components of diesel engines. We can see here. Here we can see this is the gudgeon pin. This is piston. These are the compression rings. This is the connecting rod which we have seen here. Then we have the crankshaft, and these are the wall springs. So this we have already seen in detail the parts. Now let's move on to the principle of four-stroke engine. So that day we were talking about the principle of four-stroke engine. Now first we'll see four-stroke cycle of diesel engine. Now in four-stroke cycle of engine, there are four strokes completing the two resolutions. And these four strokes are suction stroke, compression stroke, power stroke and exhaust stroke. Here you can see four strokes, and they complete in the two resolutions. So what happens? Let us see one by one. In first suction stroke, during this stroke, the inlet wall remains open. See this is the inlet wall, and this remains open, and exhaust wall remains closed. Okay. So after this, air is drawn inside the piston, and there is a piston movement from TDC to BDC, from top to bottom. The piston moves as the air is drawn. So in the next stroke, here is the compression stroke. After suction stroke, the compression stroke takes place, and during this movement, the inlet wall, you can see here the inlet wall as well as the exhaust wall, both are closed, and piston moves from BDC to TDC, means from bottom to top, and there is a charge is compressed up to the clearance volume, and the compression ratio is higher than the petrol engine. So what happens, due to this higher compression ratio, air attains high temperature and it gets self ignites, and the temperature increases, and near the end of this stroke, what happens? So we were at the pressure of the end of the compression stroke, ranges from 30 to 45 kg per centimeter square, and the air is progressively compressed in the cylinder. Then its temperature get increased, and until the near end of the compression stroke, it becomes sufficiently high. So here you can see the compression temperature. It becomes high from 650 to 800 degrees Celsius. So what happens? It instantly ignites the fuel, and then the injection into the cylinder is done. So after compression stroke, there is a power stroke. It is also known as expansion stroke. Here, both the valves are closed and piston moves from TDC to BDC. As we have seen, there is a high temperature and high pressure. So gas is pushed down into the piston, and this creates the motive force. And after this, then when there is a fuel injection period, the piston reaches to the end of its compression stroke, and it is turned to the third consecutive stroke, which is the power stroke. And during this stroke, the hot product of the combustion, consisting chiefly of carbon dioxide with the nitrogen left in a compressed air, and thus it forces the piston to move downward. This is the working of power stroke. Have you got understood till here what happens in suction, compression and power stroke? Any doubt? No doubt. Okay. After power stroke, there is an exhaust stroke. Here what happens? The inlet valve is closed. You can see here the inlet valve is closed, but the exhaust valve is open. And after this, the exhaust valve then opens, and there is usually a little piston reach to its lowest point, and then the exhaust gases are swiped out. From here the exhaust gases get swiped out, and then the exhaust valve remains open throughout the whole stroke, and then it closes at the top of the stroke. The reciprocating motion of the piston is converted into rotary motion, and the crankshaft by means of connecting rod and crankshaft. So the crankshaft rotates its main bearing, which is in the set of crankcase. So this takes 2 revolutions. Have you got suction stroke, compression stroke, what happens in power and exhaust stroke? How this 4-stroke engine works? Shall we continue further? Yes, understood. Okay. After 4-stroke, let's talk about 2-stroke cycle, which is diesel engine. And what happens in this cycle? The cycle of 4-stroke of piston, here we have the suction, compression, power and exhaust same, and it is also completed in 2-stroke engine. Now here the air is drawn into the crankcase, which is due to suction created by the upward stroke of the piston, and then on the downstroke of the piston it is compressed. Then the compression pressure is usually at very low, and it is just being sufficient to enable the air to flow into the cylinder. So there is a transfer of piston reaches from bottom to its bottom to its downstroke. Then what happens? As the air enters the flow into the cylinder, when the piston compresses, it is till the piston is nearly at the top of its stroke. Here you can see it is at the top of its stroke. Then the compression of pressure is increased. Here the compression get increased, and the temperature is raised high, and the air is then moved to self-ignition point of the fuel. Here also there is a self-ignition point of fuel, and the fuel is injected into the cylinder, head just before the completion of compression stroke, and then for only a short period of time, and then the burned gases expands during the next. This happens in a two-stroke diesel cycle. First, let me tell you about SI and CI engine difference. What is the difference in SI and CI engine? Can anyone tell what is the difference between SI and CI engine? Anyone? Difference between the SI and CI engine? The main difference between the, am I audible to everyone? Audible. Okay. The main difference between the SI and CI engine is that in SI engine, here the spark is used to burn the fuel, and in CI engine we use the heat of compressed air to burn the fuel. So this is main difference between SI and CI engine. Also, we in SI engine we use petrol as a fuel, and in CI engine we use diesel as a fuel. So let's continue. After two-stroke, let us have the four-stroke petrol engine. Here we have same suction, compression, power and exhaust. The working of a four-stroke spark ignition engine. So in this we have mixed air, and it is broken up with mist and partially vaporized in a carburetor. So what happens? The mixture is sucked into the cylinder first, here in suction stroke, and then there it is compressed, and then move upward movement of the piston, and it ignites by an electric spark. Why electric spark? Because it is a petrol is used, and in SI engine there is a spark. So it ignites by an electric spark. So when the mixture is burned, the resulting heat causes the gases to expand, and the expanding gas exerts a pressure on the piston, which is in the power stroke. Pressure is on the piston, and then the stroke are similar to those we have discussed in other cycles. Okay, so after this we will compare the CI and SI engine. Have you got to understood the cycles engines which I told, four stroke, two stroke? Any problem regarding that?
मॅम बट
Yes.
एलपीजी गॅस साठी कोणतं इंजिन म्हणजे सीआय इंजिन मध्ये एलपीजी गॅस कम्प्रेशनला चालतो का?
No, we use SI engine for petrol and CI for diesel. So
बट एलपीजी गॅस साठी कोणतं इंजिन असतं मॅम?
no, I too don't know the confirm, but I'll tell you in the next lecture in which engine we use the LPG gas. Okay?
ओके मॅम.
Okay. So let us continue. We were talking about the comparison of CI and SI engine. So what first point, the reliability of CI engine is much higher than the SI engine. Okay, so because in case of failure of battery, ignition and carburetor system, the SI engine cannot operate, whereas CI engine with the separate fuel injector for each cylinder has less risk of failure. So this is the first point. As CI engine is much higher than the SI engine. Next, the distribution of fuel to each cylinder is uniform. In both the cylinder we have the same fuel distribution, but as much as them has the higher separate injector. We have the separate injectors in SI and CI engine, whereas the SI engine, the distribution of fuel mixture is not uniform, owing to the design of a single carburetor and intake manifold. Here you can get to know that SI engine, the distribution of fuel mixture is not uniform, whereas in CI it has a uniform fuel mixture. Next, since the service period of fuel injector system of CI engine is longer, its maintenance cost is less than the SI engine. And the expansion ratio of CI engine is higher than the SI engine, because therefore the heat loss of to the cylinder wall is less in a CI engine than the SI engine. Consequently, the cooling system of CI engine can be smaller in dimensions. Then again we can have the torque characteristic of CI engine are more uniform, which results in better top gear performance. And the CI engine can be switched over the part load to full load soon after starting the cold, whereas SI engine requires warming period. Then the fuel diesel of CI engine, in CI engine we have fuel diesel, is cheaper than the fuel petrol for SI engine. The fire risk of CI engine is minimized due to absence of ignition system. There is a less risk in CI engine, and on part load the specific fuel consumption of CI engine is low. These are the comparisons of SI and CI engine. Then we have the advantages and disadvantages of two-stroke cycle over a four-stroke cycles. So what are the advantages? Let us see first the advantages, and then we will continue with disadvantages. So the two-stroke cycle engine gives one working stroke for each revolution of a crankshaft. Hence, theoretically, the power developed for the same engine speed and cylinder volume is twice that of four-stroke cycle engine, which gives only one working stroke for every two revolutions of the crankshaft. Hence, in practice, because of poor scaving, only 50 to 60% extra power is developed. So, in two-stroke cycle engine, one working stroke for each resolution is used. So, theoretically, power developed for same engine speed and cylinder volume is twice, means twice that of four-stroke cycle. Next, due to one of the working stroke for each resolution of the crankshaft, the turning moment of on the crankshaft is more uniform. Therefore, two-stroke engine requires lighter flywheel. We have the lighter flywheel in two-stroke engine. Next, the two-stroke engine is simpler in construction, and the design of its port is much simpler, and their maintenance is easier than that of valve mechanism. After that, the power required to overcome the frictional resistance to suction and exhaust is saved, resulting in some economy of fuel. Next, owing to the absence of cam and camshaft, the wall mechanism, the mechanical efficiency is higher. Means the mechanical efficiency of two-stroke is higher than the four-stroke engine. In two-stroke engine gives fewer oscillations. We have fewer oscillations, as well as the same power of two-stroke engine is more compact and requires less space than four-stroke engine cycle. This makes us more suitable for use in small machines and motorcycles. So the two-stroke engine is lighter in weight for same power and speed, especially when the crankcase compression is used. So due to the simpler design, it requires fewer spare parts. And two-stroke cycle engine can be easily reversed if its wall is of wall less type. These are some of the advantages of two-stroke over the four-stroke cycle. And we have, as well as we have some of the disadvantages also. So disadvantages are the scaving being not very difficult in two-stroke engine. The dilution of charge takes place, which results in poor thermal efficiency. Means the thermal efficiency is poor due to dilution of charge. So the two-stroke spark ignition engine do not have a separate lubrication system, and normally the one sec. Am I audible? Yes, I'm audible. Okay. We were talking about the disadvantages. So these are some of the disadvantages uh, of. So we were talking third. In spark ignition two-stroke engines, some of the fuel passes directly to the exhaust, and hence the fuel consumption per horsepower is comparatively higher. So with the heavy duty load, a two-stroke engine gets heated up due to excessive heat produced. At the same time, the running of engine is wrought very smooth at light load. It also consumes more lubricating oil because of greater amount of heat generated. So since the port remains open during the upward stroke, the actual compression starts only after both the inlet and exhaust valve are closed. Hence, the compression ratio of the engine is lower than that of four-stroke engine in same dimension, as the efficiency of the engine is directly proportional to compression ratio. The efficiency of two-stroke cycle engine is lower than that of four-stroke cycle. So in this, you just have to basically know about the how engine works, and some disadvantages and advantages of this. So here we have today completed the first chapter of our syllabus. Any doubt regarding this? Yes. Any doubt regarding this? Uh, first let us talk about what we have completed in first chapter. Can anyone tell what we have completed in our first chapter? In short, what are the points we completed? Anyone?
Laws of thermodynamics.
Okay, laws of thermodynamics. First, we were talking about thermodynamics, then first law, second law. Next,
A standard cycle त्यात Carnot Otto cycle परत
air standard
Vapor
cycles. In that, we have seen the assumptions, then Otto cycle,
हा,
Carnot cycle. Okay, next,
vapor compression
refrigeration cycle,
refrigeration cycle.
VCRS system. We have seen how it works, and then
Heat engines,
heat engines. In that, SI engine, CI engine, four stroke,
two stroke, four
four
stroke.
stroke, and they're working, and their advantages and comparison. Okay, so still anything in first chapter? External combustion, internal combustion. Okay, so Anyone can tell about VCRS system? I'll share the slide of VCRS system. So this is vapor compression refrigeration cycle. Can anyone explain? I told you about this. Yes, anyone?
कंडेन्सर
Yes.
कॉम्प्रेसर मधून सॅच्युरेटेड व्हेपर इनलेट होते. ते त्याचे ते हाय प्रेशर आणि हाय टेम्परेचर मध्ये ते व्हेपर कंडेन्सर कडे जाते सुरुवातीला.
Okay.
त्यानंतर एक ते एक्सपान्शन वॉल कडे जाऊन प्रेशर रिड्यूस होते
From
आणि
high
प्रेशर
pressure to
रिड्यूस
low
झाल्यानंतर
pressure. Hmm?
आणि
Yes.
त्यानंतर त्याचं लिक्विड आणि व्हेपर मध्ये दोन स्टेट मध्ये जाते ते इकडे इव्हॅपरेटर कडे येताना.
Okay.
आणि
Very good.
त्यातून इव्हॅपरेटर मध्ये लिक्विडचं परिणाम सॅच्युरेटेड एअर तयार होते जी व्हेपर होते त्याची कूल व्हेपर तयार होऊन ती बाहेर येते आणि सॅच्युरेटेड व्हेपर तयार झालेली ती परत ना कॉम्प्रेसर कडे जाते.
And then the cycle again continues.
अगेन कंटिन्यू.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything addition to this or yes, anyone else? Anyone else want to speak about vapor compression refrigeration cycle?
मॅम कंडेन्सर कडून एक्सपान्शन हॉल कडे येताना लिक्विड मध्ये येतं ना.
In condenser, what happens? It heat is transferred from refrigerant to flow, and this water goes to the cooling tower. It is in
ओके.
condensed position, so the refrigeration is at constant pressure. Okay.
ओके मॅम.
Hmm. Anyone? Okay. Here we have completed today our first chapter. So still time is there. We can talk about the difference between SI and CI engine. Anyone who has understood about the SI and CI engine, tell me the difference between SI and CI engine. Except Aniket. Speak someone else. Difference between SI and CI engine. Yes, anyone?
Ma-
Yes, speak.
I can speak, ma'am.
You
Ma'am,
Aniket?
CI engine is more cheaper in cost than SI engine.
The main difference in SI and CI engine, how fuel is burned. Anyone can tell in SI engine and CI engine? How fuel is burned in SI engine and how fuel is burned in CI engine. I think I might have repeated it twice. Yes, Aniket?
एस आय इंजिन मध्ये स्पार्क प्लग असते आणि सीआय इंजिन मध्ये कॉम्प्रेशन मुळे हीट तयार होऊन कंटिन्युअसली बर्न होते फ्यूल.
Okay, very good. Why others are not speaking? Which fuel is used in SI engine and which fuel is used in CI engine?
Ma'am, SI engine मध्ये पेट्रोल and CI मध्ये डिझेल.
Okay. So this was the basic which we have completed in first chapter. In next, we will start our second chapter and then we'll continue. So, if any doubt regarding this, you can ask, and then, if no doubt, we'll stop here.
मॅम ते कॉम्पोनंट ऑफ डिझेल सिस्टीम जरा एक्सप्लेन करता का डिझेल इंजिन
कंपोनंट्स मी IC इंजिनचे सांगितले होते. सिलेंडर, पिस्टन रॉंग, ते हवंय का? येस.
हो मॅम येस
Okay, so here you can see the constructional feature of an IC engine. So first let me talk about the cylinder. Can you see the cylinder? Where is the cylinder? See, this is the cylinder. Okay, so this is the basic and supporting portion of an engine, and it provides the space to the piston. Here in the cylinder we have the piston, so it provides the space to the piston and it can operate to draw the fuel mixture and air. After this cylinder we have the piston. Okay, so what is the piston? It is the first part of an engine and it can move. It is being used for movement and it transmit the power to the crankshaft. Okay, now after this piston we have a crankshaft. Can you see the figure clearly? Piston, crankshaft written. Yes.
येस मॅम
Yes, you can see. So here after the piston we have the crankshaft. Now after piston, first let us talk about piston rings in piston. So what are piston rings? They are of cast iron and they have ability to retain bearing qualities and elasticity. So the primary function of piston ring is to retain the compression, and at the same time reduces in the cylinder wall and piston wall contracts the area of minimum, thus reducing the control of lubricating oil. So after this we have the connecting rod. Here is the connecting rod. This connecting rod is the connection between the piston and crankshaft. This is the piston, this is the connecting rod. Connecting rod is this is the crankshaft we have. So connecting rod is the connection between the piston and crankshaft, and the end connection of piston is the small end and other end is the big end. See this. So after this the connecting rod is, am I audible? Am I audible? Yes, I am audible. So we were talking about crankshaft. This is connected to the piston through the connecting rod, and one sec. Okay. Hello. Yes. So after connecting rod, we have a crankshaft and it is connected to the piston through connecting rod and it converts the linear motion into rotary motion. Okay, rotational motion of the flywheel. So after this we have the valves. Here upside you can see valves. What are valves used for? They allow the air to enter into the cylinder and exhaust the gas. Air is entered through the valves and here we can also exhaust the gas and escape from the cylinder. These are the valves. Then we have the camshaft. The valves are operated by the action of camshaft, okay, which separates the cam from inlet and exhaust valve. These are the parts of the IC engine. Have you got to know about cylinder, piston ring, crankshaft, connecting rod? Yes? Speak something. Have you understood about the basic parts? Okay, yes. So here we have completed today. Difference between SI and CI engine. Yes? I can't see the messages from chat. Uh, so someone was asking about SI and CI engine. So first I told you SI and CI engine difference. In SI, spark is used to burn the fuel, and in CI, heat is compressed. Air is used to burn the fuel, and the petrol is used in SI engine, and diesel is used in CI engine. There is low compression ratio in SI engine and high compression ratio in CI engine, as well as the thermal efficiency of SI engine is high and thermal efficiency of CI engine is less. These are the basic points to differentiate the SI and CI engine. Okay. So these slides will be shared to you. I'll send it on the group. You can have a look. If any doubt, you can ask me in other next lecture. In next lecture, we'll start the unit second. Okay. So we'll stop here today. Yes, everyone. We'll stop here today.